That's I hold quite dearly to myself, which is this rugby pitch and this rugby facility. And I'll come on to that in a minute. And what the hell's that got to do with politics? Well, I always try and maintain any story around politics. This is what this channel's for. This channel is a political channel, and it's also a channel to get somebody to do something in my hair, because it's got a life of its own. You thought Donald Trump was bad? What is going on here? So I'm going to tell you a bit about rugby. God, Dave, why are you talking about rugby? This is a political channel. Just stick to the politics, please. But I'm going to tell you about rugby. So when I was under 18, I was playing for Cambuslang. Now, we're not in Cambuslang just now, but I was playing for Cambuslang. Cambuslang had a very good youth rugby setup, one of the best in Scotland at the time. Not sure if it still does. I think it still does, but one of the best youth rugby teams in Scotland. And I was in the Glasgow district trial with Kenny Logan. I used to play against Kenny Logan, and he was playing fullback for Stirling County, and I was playing right wing, funnily enough, for Cambuslang, as I played in the county trial, which I wasn't selected. That Glasgow district team beat every other district that year, which I was obviously very disappointed not to be selected. I was in the Royal Marine Reserves, but I also went up to Stirling County and did a part season. But because I was in the Marine Reserves, at the weekends I had to go and play rugby, and then the alternate weekends I was away with the Marines, so it wasn't conducive either way for either thing I was doing. So although it was keeping me fit for the Marines, it wasn't really conducive for actually training for the Marines. So always stick to one thing at a time and concentrate on that, regardless of what you're doing in life. Get the one thing done and then move to whatever else you're going to do. Stirling County came up through the divisions to eventually win the Premiership, the amateur Premiership at the time. The first national teams are semi-pro just now, and it's whittled down to about 10 teams. And it was whittled down, and these top teams have got a very semi-pro, like the amateurs and the semi-pros in football as well. It's got a very, very similar feel to that as well. But at this time, it was all basically amateurs. There wasn't any pro Glasgow and Edinburgh teams either, and there wasn't any inter-country divisions either. And Stirling had built their clubhouse, and because they built the clubhouse, they had a very good process up at Stirling County. They were developing a lot of really great young players, and Kenny and Stirling County won the Scottish Youth Cup that year. So they won the Scottish Youth Cup, and they won, and a number of the guys were in that Glasgow district team, who beat every other district that year, which is unusual to whitewash every district. And I didn't get selected, so you can imagine I had a wee sort of bee in my bonnet and was a bit slightly pissed off. And also I lived in Bothwell, which is right next to where I'm about to tell you where I am just now, and I wanted to play rugby locally. So I got Gavin Hastings, who was the Scottish captain at the time, Scottish Sports Council, the three presidents of the three different rugby teams in what is the Halton district, which will come on to the by-election I'm about to talk about just now, to put proposals into the local council. And there was a great guy called John Allen, who is from Hamilton Rugby Club, where I am just now. And Hamilton, well, the guys were just telling me there, Hamilton Pavilion had been burnt down. So this clubhouse I'm about to show you, these facilities weren't here. They were playing out a pub in Hamilton, in the actual town of Hamilton. And they were in Division 8 or 9 effectively, and so was Uddingston, and so was Clydesdale. Clydesdale, I think, were playing in Hamilton at the time, and then they got moved out to Stonehouse. So there's only one team in Hamilton. Uddingston is still playing at Uddingston, who I played for before as well. But there was no significant team in Hamilton at the time. There was no team that was going up the divisions. So I got Gavin Hastings to back this proposal, really to build new facilities. And the new facilities I wanted built were going to be down at the Mausoleum in Hamilton. And there was already plans for the new football pitches and everything else. So they said that wasn't going to be a starter. But I put the what's up, wee Nippy? Where's your wee Nippy? Wee Nippy's finished. Wee Nippy's dead and buried. And she might be going to jail. And Hamilton got the land, this land here, as you can see. Let me just turn it round. It's lovely. All the rugby pitches. They got the land, which I had asked for in the proposal I had put forward to Hamilton, the Hamilton South Lanarkshire Council, I think it was at the time. And or Hamilton District, I'm not quite sure, I can't remember. It was a number of years ago. It was when I was 21. So I was very young at the time for doing this. And John Allen got the architects, who was the president of the rugby club, and they raised £750,000. So I showed them sources of funding, and they built Hamilton Rugby Club. I played for Hamilton. I got Player of the Year for the seconds the first year, and then I scored 20 tries before November. And I get let go for some obscure reason. But anyway, I was ceremonially sacked at the beginning of the season, and from a game that we won, but I didn't play very well. And usually I was a prolific try scorer. But I've never held any offices of power. But I did this off my own bat. I put together the proposals. I got Gavin Hastings to back it. I did it off my own bat to actually improve the facilities here. After the clubhouse was built in Hamilton, I was asking the guys inside if did they insure the place, insure this place, because the last time Hamilton Pavilion was burnt down, and that's why they had to play out the pub and the team. Islam Livingston says hi. He says the 17 billion business relief is safe in his hands. I missed that. So the pavilion burnt down, and they didn't have a clubhouse for about 19, 20, 30 years. It was a long time they didn't have a clubhouse. And when this clubhouse was built, Hamilton Rugby Club went from the Glasgow District League. So was 3 premiers at the time and 4 national leagues in the Hamilton District League. So they were either effectively Division 8 or Division 9. And they went up 7 or 8 leagues consecutively on the bounce, and they were very close to going into what was the Premier League back in the day. They just missed out on it. They've gone down a few leagues. Guys were saying they're in, I think, effectively Division 5. Amazon ditched wee Nippy's book. No way. Is it called Culpable Homicide? Is it called We've Got £600,000 and a camper van? So, but this was a great success story, and this was basically based on the rugby I played against Kenny Logan, the success that Stirling County did, and the success that Hamilton had, emulating what I wanted to do for them, was to get new facilities in the Hamilton district, and then they went up seven divisions, and was very, very close to getting in the Premier Division. That might have totally changed the dynamics at the clubhouse had they got into the Premier Division. Though it's called A to Z in rugmanship. So I was right about that as well, wasn't I? Yeah. I can understand that people don't like I appreciate my approach, but it doesn't mean that I'm not correct. So I'm a beautiful day, beautiful place to come and watch the rugby, and I scored a lot of tries. And so obviously I've given the game away that I'm in Hamilton, the main town in this up and coming by-election. And Hamilton being a large town, Larkhall being a smaller town, I'll take it down there, and Stonehouse is where I'm from. So I'm from Bothwell and Stonehouse, either side of the Hamilton district. So this is, I'm home. And this is a absolutely, where's your Scooter Boy Humza? Scooter Boy Humza. We're hoping we're going to bump into Labour. But the ascent of Hamilton Rugby Club from playing out a pub team, playing out a pub in Hamilton, and then going up seven divisions is exactly the opposite of what's happening to Labour. And Labour's going right down the tubes. It's going right down the sinker. It could end up fourth behind UKIP in the Hamilton district. So it could be SNP potentially 1, Reform 2, UKIP 3, and then Labour 4th. Some of the stuff that's going about Anis and his father is absolutely horrific. They look like a couple of Islamists. The stories of them bribing the people not to stand against them. Labour guys standing against Mohammed's father, they bribed them, and I think it was Gordon Brown that got him off. Is Sarwar going down the shitter? He certainly is. And then you've got Sarwar, his father again talking about blasphemy laws in Scotland, so you can't criticise the child rapist death cult. And then you've got Sarwar and all the drugs things that they were involved in, and the drugs allegations. And then you've got vote rigging. You've got them then vote rigging. And you've got then Anis Sarwar is the nephew of Lord Ahmed, the paedophile. I mean, you couldn't make it up. You actually couldn't make it up. It's so absolutely weird and disgusting. You couldn't make it up. Sarwar and Gun white powders, white powders. Well, apparently it was heroin that his family were involved in, and his brother was a coke dealer. This is the allegations that come to me. I know nothing about this. But we're now seeing that the Labour Party are now falling off a cliff. And we might be able to get, I told you, we might be able to get the Labour Party in a phone box because nobody's voting for them. Paul Hutchins, the wee guy, looks like the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for the Daily Record. He says that it's not looking good for Anis. And they're all now talking about Anis resigning from Labour. They shouldn't have been in the first place. But he's going to have to resign. The Anis is going to have to resign because if he comes in third, which he might well do. And the exact opposite of what's happened here to this club in the ascent from nowhere. The ascent, that's almost like reform just now. The ascent going up that this club did from the very low levels, from a burnt pavilion to this fantastic facility, fantastic pitch. I've scored many tries on this pitch. People know I don't make things up. Many tries I scored on this pitch. Prolific. A prolific. Sarwar used to be a prolific shooter, and now he's just a prolific short shitter. That's it. That's brilliant. Gary McAllister, brilliant. And now we're seeing Labour's going right down the tubes. I don't even think I have to talk to people here in Hamilton. I think we already know. They already know that they're not voting Labour. They already know they're voting Reform. This is going to be a reform town. Reform Hamilton Land Call in Stonehouse. They've thrown Labour in the bin, put in the dustbin. They don't want the Islamists coming, trying to bully them, trying to get more Pakistanis in the Scottish Parliament, trying to ram diversification, which is effectively ethnic cleansing. They don't want that. And now they're going right down the tubes, right down the Farter, the Magna Carta. And they're going to come in third in Hamilton, Stonehouse and Larkhall, which, believe me, I know this place like the back of my hand. This is a working class thing, and they're now all voting Reform. Could Reform beat the SNP? Because obviously the SNP are just a nationalist version of Labour. They're like two cheeks of the same asshole. And that's exactly what we're actually seeing. Could Reform overtake the SNP? This is a big one. Because the SNP and Labour just do the same policies, 80 to 90% of SNP policies have been backed by the dough-balls of Labour. So you're not getting a change going from SNP to Labour to SNP. It's not a policy change, especially not in the Scottish political diaspora. It's not a policy. You need policy changes. You need somebody that will come in and say, we're going to do it a different way. Not the same way, but one's a unionist, one's a nationalist, but there's not really any change in that policy from nationalism to unionism. So that's not really a factor. It's all the rest of the other policies that are a factor. But the opposite of what's happened here at this great club, Hamilton Rugby Club. It was called Hamilton Accies. It was named after the school, the Hamilton Grammar School, like Hamilton Accies, the football club. But it's called Hamilton because I wanted to call it Lanarkshire County, named after Stirling County. But the guys said, we'll just call it Hamilton Rugby Club, which is Hamilton Bulls is the official title, which we can actually see here. Go and follow it. It's a big up-and-coming team in rugby. Go and support it. Go and support it online. Go and add it on the Facebooks. Come get your children to come play rugby. I think they do girls rugby as well. And the Labour Party are in the direct opposite trajectory from Hamilton Rugby Club when they went up the divisions, 7 divisions, right up to just a whisker off of being in the Premier League. And now the Labour Party are going like if you think of a Spitfire on fire going to crash. Sturgeon and Bain bedroom sports and academicals. Yeah, she might be up for manslaughter. I think I'll turn it around this way because it's actually nicer. Until I just hold on. Such a beautiful pitch as well. All of that's been resurfaced. This has all been resurfaced. The faraway pitches, I don't know, there's 2 faraway pitches here as well for the second team. There's also, I think, another rugby pitch down at the Mausoleum. Another rugby pitch. But I mean, it's absolutely stunning. This did not look like this when I put forward the proposals. So now we're going to go down to Larkhall. Dorothy Bain won't let her lover Sturgeon go to jail. Well, yeah. I'm not surprised, but it's the. Can you imagine you're the First Minister and you're up for culpable homicide, and you're meant to be a nationalist? Oh, if we'd known, and this is her words when she was talking to the Turkish woman, not that we shouldn't be having a wee look at that. We wouldn't have called, if we had our time again, we wouldn't have called the Scottish National Party the Scottish National Party. What would you call it? The Wokey Wefter Party, named after you being a wee Wokey Wefter. Is that what would have been called? Where's the £600,000? Where is it? Is it just poof? The camper van? Where is all of it? I mean, really? I had asked the guys to put in a gym. There's plenty of space over this side. I know they've got some stuff here, but I said to them they should put a gym so that it was actually bringing in some money this side, and it also helps develop larger players. But sometimes you get listened to, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the people listen, sometimes don't. Even if it's the right thing to do, some people don't listen. And this is the difficulty in politics. You've got to persuade people that what you're saying is correct. And we keep getting it right. It's not like I can understand if somebody who didn't agree with my politics or wasn't a libertarian liberal or didn't have the same politics as me or didn't agree with my political takes would be getting upset because we keep getting it right. And my thoughts on this by-election is that the SNP will win, although I think the first thing you should be asking the SNP, any SNP canvasser, is how are we going to get independence? If that's their raison d'etre, what's the strategy for independence? And we all know they don't have one. Labour is, why are you trying to kid on you're not an Islamist? You don't want more and more Pakistani Muslims in positions of power. That's what you said to Sarwar. Why is the Liberal Party illiberal and undemocratic? Well, these are all valid questions. Why is the Conservative Party not conservative? And I could think of a few for reform, but I'm going to hang fire there. I'm going to hang fire. Stay tuned. Larkhall next. Go right down, see my old buddies, old stomping grounds. It's like Yaki Da. It's beautiful though, isn't it? What a transformation. It just shows you with the correct effort, understanding, a bit of time, patience and money, you can really make a massive transformation. And this has helped schoolboys, schoolgirls as well. I think there's both female youth teams and male youth teams as well. And this has been done. Right, let's go. I think I'll just keep recording, and I'll just hold it, and we'll take it down to Hamilton Main Street and see if anybody's prepared to have a chat. See who they're voting for. Let's go. Oh. The difficulty of doing this yourself. Oh. Jeez. Here we go. Right. I think people tune in just to see my hair. Thanks very much, buddy. So, Clubhouse is absolutely gorgeous. If you've not been to the club, definitely it's worth a visit. I think they do live events and things like that. But yeah, absolutely stunning. Place looks great, and it's a major transformation. Is Anas Sarwar a major transformation for Labour? Is that somebody who has got a long-term future as a leader of Labour? Paul is obviously the deputy or whatever it is, whatever his place is in the Daily Record, seems to think that I'm not sure who it was. I'm not sure if it wasn't Barry Borland. It was the other fella. The other fella looks a wee bit like me. He had made some good questions as well. You get these guys sort of like Paul Hutchins couldn't dominate a conversation with me, but you get Paul dominating the conversations or putting these 250 pence worth in, and but the questions that the other fella keeps asking, Paul's not liking. He's obviously able to dismiss them, but the questions were: if Anis comes third in Hamilton, Stonehouse and Larkhall, or Larkhall and Stonehouse, whatever, is Anis going to resign? Is Anis going to resign? That's question number one. And what was the other one? What was the other thing? He said something else as well. I think, I can't remember the other one. It doesn't come off the top of my head. But I think he was basically saying that he's going to have to resign or think about resigning if he comes third, and he's already come in third in the Clydebank by-election. So he's slipping all over the place, slipping in Clydebank, and if he slips here as well, I mean, Clydebank you could have dismissed as a local council election, but I still don't think that's really dismissible. He's coming in third in Clydebank, and if he comes in third here behind Reform, they're screwed. They're screwed. Now they can pretend, and it's probably in everybody's interest if Anis stays right up to the general election, because she's absolutely going to take the Labour Party down. I don't know if there'll be any Labour or there'll be double figure MSPs at the Scottish election. I don't know if there'll be if they'll make double figures. Humza, long term, I missed that. Write it again so I can read it again. They should get them longer on the live chat so I can read them. He's finished anyway. There's absolutely no loss. He's talked more about Gaza than he has about Pollock. His job is not Foreign Secretary for Scotland to talk about Gaza. That's not his job. That's not what he's there for. His job is to it's beautiful, isn't it? So we would train down here with the rugby on the football pitches as well down here. Probably get even better facilities. That's the facilities over there. It's quite nice though. I'm sure this is where some of the senior footballers, the professional footballers for Rangers and potentially Celtic have played. I think the Hamilton youth boys clubs were very good as well for football. I'm sure that's where Barry Ferguson started off. So yeah. So it's likely if Sarwar stays in place that he will get down. He could get the Labour Party down to single digits. Single figures. So they might not even have a double-digit MSPs at the next Scottish election. If he comes in third here, there'll be a tipping point, and especially amongst the second vote, where Labour Party voters will be so disgruntled, will be so annoyed at what's happened, whether it's at Westminster or at through Holyrood, and the things that are coming out about Anis and Sarwar Senior, that they're going to get really sort of pissed off. They're going to get really annoyed, and that'll devastate the Labour vote coming up for the Scottish election. Devastate it. If they're already coming third in Clydebank, you can imagine how the devastation that Reform and others. Don't forget now, and I'll cover this individually. Don't forget now, we've got George Galloway has got the National Socialist Workers' Party of Great Britain, or whatever it's called, and now we've got Uncle Harold, Jeremy Steptoe Corbyn, and he's getting the Workers of the World Unite stuff going on. He's set up a new party, which was a mistake, and I'll come on to why he should have joined with Georgie Porgy at a later date. And now he's setting up another party, so we've got the Workers' Party, and now we've got Uncle Harold's party, and we've got the Greens, who are a bunch of the Village Idiot Party. Those guys, that's it. If you're retarded, vote Green. That's the message. And then you've got the illiberal, undemocratic, woke Liberals. And they're all on the same agenda. So you've got all these parties who are going to be fighting over the same vote, which is definitely going to dilute all the crackpots. So which bunch of crackpots do you want to support? Oh, let's go for the Workers' Party. So the increase in the Workers' Party, or an increase in Uncle Albert's party. So it's going to dilute the vote, and not all of them are the same. So the only Uncle Harold and what do you call him? Uncle Harold and wee Georgie Porgy would have been ideal to work together. But because it's the People's Front of Judea and the Judeans People's Front, they can't actually work together, which is fucking bonkers. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So they've got to have two individual parties. Not that there's probably going to be much policy difference, maybe slightly, but not much policy difference. It'll be another GIMP party, a globalist Islamo-Marxist party, although I think Uncle Harold and Georgie Porgy are both British socialist conservatives, and they're not really for the globalists. I know Georgie Porgy's not, and I'm sure Uncle Harold's probably similar. But the fact that Uncle Harold couldn't actually join with Georgie Porgy prior to the last election shows that he's losing it. I mean, he's getting old. This could be, but it's going to be very interesting generically, politically. So it's going to be very interesting to find out what the script is there generically. And to when Labour are starting to hemorrhage voters at the next election to the Liberals, to the Green Party, to the Workers' Party, to Uncle Harold's new political party, this is going to absolutely slaughter them. And the Conservatives will hemorrhage to the illiberal, undemocratic Democrats, and to Reform. So they're getting squeezed already, 16%. I mean, at the next general election, not the Scottish or the Welsh election, at the next general election, you could see for the first time, I don't think it's going to go as low as this, but the Conservative Party down to single figures, which will be just a bunch of basically Liberal Democrats, probably. Might get the odd actual Conservative. But the reality is that they're going to get pulled in all directions. And they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. So, as is Labour. Labour's probably going to get it worse because there's so many Greens and Workers' Party and especially bigging these parties up prior to the election is going to pull even more of the votes away and will absolutely decimate them for the next election. We could see a significant Reform majority at the next general election. We've got to wait 3 years, but that could be the outcome of what's going to happen there. Right. And so I mean that's the and Kemi Badenoch is now still hanging on in there. 16%, still keeping it going. Now I don't know, generics are wet anyway. All this posturing, we know what to do, honestly Gov, we're Conservative now. Not that anybody believes them anymore. I think everybody's seen through their actual conservatism prior to the election and their corporatist globalism after the election. So I don't think anybody's buying it anymore. And I think the actual turnaround for Labour or the Conservative is going to be done in decades. It's going to be done in decades, not in elections, i.e. every 4 years. Not going to be, the Conservatives are out this year, but they'll get a bounce back next election. I don't think so, nor Labour for that matter either. I think Labour are going to get pulled further to the left or to the right. So that's going to be a major issue for them. So I think that's going to be a problem. I don't think that the solution will just be the change of leadership, because everybody knows the game they're all playing. Whether it be the new leader, look, we've got a shiny new leader. Nobody's buying the shiny new leader. Nobody's buying, look, we've got Boris back. Nobody gives a shit. We all know that you're shells for the globalists, just like the Liberals, just like Labour. You're all shells for the globalists. Just swallowed the flag. Shell for the globalists, and you're not doing anything for the individual or the man. At least reform is a change, and what reform will do, and regardless of whether they're good or not, is that reform will be the catalyst to break the back of the two-party system. So if reform don't do very well, and I'll come on to this as political strategy, that another political entity will be in the wings. So instead of, reform weren't very good, so we'll go back to the Lib Lab Con Party, or even something further left like the Workers' Party or the Greens, or any of these idiots. They won't be doing that. We won't be doing that. That will not be the scenario. There'll be a third option where if they're not successful, then we will stop them. Well, stop them. Sorry, I'm talking rubbish. I'm working out where to go. We will have another political entity, so the 30% that go to reform will get switched into the other entity. Instead of having to go back, we'll just go back to Labour, we'll just go back to whoever it is. We'll then switch by the time of the next election. Reform wins, then whatever period of time they're in. What's that? Thanks. And And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. There'll be another political entity, and that's the what'll happen just now. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to stop here because we're in what is generally accepted as the centre of Hamilton. So, again, fuck's sake, where the fuck's down here? Just give me a second, I'm just fixing the legs. See, I'm getting nearly run down here. Man, that was hard work, that was. So, I'm in what is generally perceived as the centre of Hamilton. Let me just show you about here. So, this is Beards. So as you can see, Beards is a horrific building based on the 1950s, 60s. Actually, my friend died. My friend died recently, called Derek Beard, who did some great podcasts. He was dying of face cancer and had to have his nose amputated. But as you can see, again, the run down this, not to knock this down and make some other better building there. Let me just turn you around this way. So these have been built much more recently. Now that's a car park. Why you would not have shops? Have shops down there, or something more interactive between the public and the actual environment. Why there would just be a big wall? And the same thing's happened in Glasgow as well at Buchanan Galleries, just big sheet wall, no interaction between the public. Really badly designed and built and allowed to be built architecture from the 1960s. So if I just spin you around here, across the road here, now this is a car park again. No buildings, nothing on it, no development. That could be shops, that could be a car park under the shops, that could be a whole hell of a lot better interaction that's generating money for the town. But yet the way that they've designed it has been that bad that it's got very little, apart from the car parking spaces that it's paid for, economic value. Again, there'd be a relative economic value as a car park, but why there has to be a car park in that close to the city centre, and why that they couldn't have expanded that one up or made the car park bigger when they actually only had one. Maybe a bit of competition, but the interaction between the public and the space is just absolutely horrific. That's not obviously even generating any money. That's just boarded up. I've seen so many another boarded up building over here. Now, this isn't anything to do with the politics or the politician who's going to be elected. This is local council work, and why these buildings have been built in the first place, why they don't interact with the public, why are they so badly ugly built, why is that car park not being knocked down and redeveloped into something more meaningful that generates more money, and you could have the car park underneath. Why does this building look as ugly as this? This could be a massive thing, this could be stunning, generate wealth for the town. Why has this been so badly put together? Why does this high street look like this? So let's this is local council information, or certain things that the council has done or not done. This isn't about what's going to happen in Straven, but it's all relative. Everything that they do is relative. Look at this. No shops, all boarded up. No shops. Thing that doesn't even interact with the public. No shops. No shops. I don't know if this is about to be knocked down for a better shopping experience, but I would hate to see the lack of generation of income for the council from the rates, because that's no shops there, no shops, no shops. Is this getting knocked down, is it, pal? Aye. Is it? Is it? Is there no? So everything, is there no shops in here then?
Is this a couple of shops?
Is there? Oh my god. So is it all getting knocked down? Aye, Marks and Spencer, so that's Marks and Spencer. That's how we look. So, as I said, this is local council stuff, so the MP's not going to be dealing with this, but he's also going to be dealing with the decline. This is the shopping centre. So it's not an unattractive. Marks and Spencer's are going, they were there for years and years. We've got a card shop, a trinket shop. There's absolutely no foot flow through here whatsoever. There's Little Angels, so that for children. So there's Boots shut down. So you can see it's not an unattractive shop, Holland and Barrett. But none of this is relative to what the MP who you're going to vote for is going to be doing. And whether or not you're going to vote for another SNP wokey wafter politician to go down to Westminster, or whether or not you're going to actually vote for a Reform one, because obviously if Reform are the up-and-coming party and they start to take seats down south, it's probably going to be beneficial if you vote for people who are on the up rather than the SNP, which seem to be downward trending just now. It seems to be a bit down here. So I'm not sure if this is going to close and get demolished and rebuilt, or what the situation is. I mean, it's a large amount of real estate. But after seeing the St James's Centre in Edinburgh and the actual transformation between that and what was before at the end of Princes Street, there's obviously quite a significant,